So when we talk about faith development, the question that gets asked is, what is it that we want to tell young people and newcomers so that they will know who we are and what our faith is? That's the way the question's usually framed. It's not good enough. What's the next question? Okay. Why do we let the rest of us off the hook? Okay. I think sometimes we focus too much on, let's make sure our kids and our newcomers, our youth, our young adults, our newcomers, that they all know what faith is about, and the rest of us just kind of stay wherever we were when we arrived. Right? Okay, I got in the door, I signed the guest book one Sunday. That's my faith for a lifetime. All right. I actually like this question even better. What's the point of faith? The point of faith is to be filled with it. So these are the questions of faith development. What are you doing for your faith today? What are you doing so that you can be more filled with faith, more filled with possibility, so that you have a sense of how the universe works and how you operate in it that gives you reason for hope and joy? Einstein had one reason, Nietzsche another, Thoreau another. What is your reason? Where is your center? Next. We're not going to read this aloud because you'll just move your lips. Read it quietly to yourselves. Take a whole moment to do that. Sure. We live here? Ken, would you read this so people can hear it?
Faith is not being sure, it is not being sure about anything what your last said. Faith is not a series of gilt-edged propositions that you sit down to figure out. And if you follow all logic and accept all conclusions, then you have it. It is crumpling and throwing away everything, proposition by proposition, until nothing is left, and then writing a new proposition of your own, to throw in the teeth of despair. Faith is not making religious-sounding noises in the daytime. It is asking yourself questions at night, and then getting up and going to work. Faith is thinking thoughts and singing songs and making poems in the last day.
Thank you. So who's got faith? Who wants more faith? Good, because that's what the business that we're in. That's the business we're in. As Unitarian Universalists, we need to commit all the time, every program year, every month, every Sunday, that we will no longer let people come to us and let them believe they have joined us and leave them out of the best part of what it is we do. This is what church does. Church helps people live faithful lives. And we sometimes are so concerned that we look and we see a new potential member come in, and we want to make it easy for them. How many of you go to church because it's the easiest thing in the week? How many of you were looking for a church that asks nothing of you? Okay? Now, if you ask that question in your congregation, some people will put their hands up. I know they will. Okay, that's all right. There always has to be enough room for folks who, just want to hang out for a while till they decide. Sometimes in that hanging out, they have the ability to say, actually, I didn't mean any of that. I need this too. So one last thought about this. Generationally, about every 30 or 40 years, when we have a huge influx of new people, we don't take the time to make them ours or to become theirs. It's about time for that again right now. Historically, it's about every 40 years for us. About 40 years ago, we had a whole lot of people join us for two reasons. We opposed the war, and we stood for reproductive rights. And we never made them ours. And they never, in some ways, became religious. They joined us because they thought we weren't. They couldn't imagine a church that had those values that was actually religious. And to this day, many of those folks struggle to integrate the experiences of their childhood churches or their childhood non-churches with the faith that they could have. Still, to this day. As people join us now, friends, do not make the mistake of assuming they came for social hour. Assume they came for a faith. And for God's sake, help them get one.